Welcome to On the Couch, a regular catch-up where we discuss the issues facing marketing, media and advertising and hopefully provide some solutions. Today on the couch, I'm joined by Matt Robinson, who is the Managing Director of AnalogFolk. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you, Darren.
So, in a digital world, what does it mean to be an analog folk?
I don't think we are in a digital world. I think we're very firmly in an analog world.
Which is people world.
Which is a people world, exactly. And I think if we think of the difference between analog and digital, analog, the best sort of definition I've seen is that it's infinite. We have infinite smells and sights and colours, and the possibilities are kind of endless, and I like that. Whereas digital is finite. It's programmable. It's kind of, we can direct it where we need to, but we have to choose from options.
Okay, so that means if someone called themselves a digital agency, that they would be very firmly in the technology space and not a people space.
Yeah, look, I think so. I think exactly. And I think that's really what we're about. So to be an analog folk, to your question earlier, is to have a real deep understanding of human beings and a deep passion, I suppose, for the world that we live in, but to be open to the opportunities that digital can create within that world.
Because you don't call yourselves digital agencies, you call yourself a modern creative agency. What does it mean to be a modern creative agency?
Yeah, look, our CEO Bill has a fantastic saying here, which is, it's a hockey saying because he's Canadian, but is that you need to always skate to where the puck is going to be. Because if you skate to where the puck is now, by the time you get there, it's gone and the opportunity is lost. And I think it's a pretty good analogy. I need to find an Australian version, but I think it's a pretty good analogy.
I think Australian rules would be
maybe. It's a pretty good analogy, I think, for what a modern creative agency needs to be, and that's always looking forward and always looking at the next opportunities, and whether that's new business lines, whether that's hiring new types of people into the agency, or whether that's throwing out legacy systems and processes and kind of coming up with new ones.
So what is it then specifically that would differentiate you from, say, a traditional creative model? Because we see a lot of agencies talk about being new or transforming. What is it that makes you a modern agency?
I think what makes us analog folk really is it comes from the inside out. So we're 10 years old as a business now. Obviously we started in London and then a couple of years later we launched in Sydney. But our mission, which is to use digital to make the analog world better, has endured since. And in fact, for us, it's kind of never been more important. So, there are so many examples of digital companies and kind of digital brands not necessarily doing the right thing by the world at the moment. We think brands can make a choice. We think they have the opportunity to make a choice, and we want them to make the right choice.
Well, it's just that, from my perspective, there's thousands of agencies and they're all out there saying, we're different. It's like that scene from Monty Python. Yeah. How do you communicate uniqueness to prospective clients?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there's no doubt, as you well know, that it's a very, very competitive industry. So, for us, I think, again, it comes back to the inside. It comes back to starting with our culture. That drives the people that we hire. That drives the way that we work in terms of, being slightly more agile, being adaptable, drives the way that we get to the work as well in terms of our tools and our systems and our processes. So it's difficult to communicate that to a prospective client. I think the minute we have a client in the door and we're able to sort of talk through how we work, they definitely feel a different experience of working with analog folk.
Well, you have to experience culture. It's almost impossible to explain it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And look, I think, again, back to the kind of inside-out philosophy of a lot of what we do is publishing thought pieces, for example. So we do a quarterly journal, which is a beautiful kind of printed publication. where we'll pick up on a particular theme. It might be something important that's happening in culture at the moment. So, belonging is an example of a theme that we picked up, and we'll have 10 to 15 people from around our network write articles or even work with other partners or other experts to bring that in, and we'll share that with our clients, and we'll get them in and present some of their findings, and that's the way that we try and talk to some new clients as well.
Now, you mentioned before the needing to anticipate where the puck is going to be. What do you see as the future for advertising agencies? Because there's a lot of talk in the marketplace about the future agency model. What's your reading of the landscape?
Yeah, look, there's kind of a sequence that I think we need to follow, and the sequence starts with us making sure that we recognise the value of the work that we're creating, and that then starts with making sure we understand the value that our clients are expecting us to create. So I think we need to kind of move beyond vanity metrics, and get deep into commercial discussions and make sure that we understand what impact we need to make and how we can measure that impact. By doing that, we have the opportunity, therefore, to release ourselves from the profit ceiling that hourly billing kind of
hourly rates
puts us under. And measuring time is not the right thing to measure.
Measure value.
We want to be measuring value, and again, that's something we've really been working hard at, and I think it's been a really good conversation to have.
I think that's really insightful, because so many people talk about structural alignments and things. What you're actually talking about is aligning the agency to the value you create for your clients.
Yeah, exactly. And the most important thing about that is, without doing that, as I said, there's a profit ceiling. We can only scale by bringing more people. Without doing that, we actually aren't going to be able to compete with all of the amazing creative companies out there who are trying to steal talent from our industry.
Incredibly insightful, Matt. Thanks for joining me on the couch.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for joining us on the couch. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned for more On the Couch coming very soon.